All right, good morning, folks. Welcome to Eureka, Montana, the 2021 Western B Divisional Basketball Tournament. Loser out action going on this morning here. The 8 o'clock game, early game for the Valkyries after a tough loss against Loyola yesterday. They lost 52-35 and will be playing Powell County or Deer Lodge. Deer Lodge, they opened up the tournament with a 44-29 loss to Eureka, the Lady Lions. So it is Deer Lodge against Bigfork, the Valkyries. Valkyries handily beat Deer Lodge down in Deer Lodge 49-16 earlier this year, and the only time that they met. So it should be interesting. The Valkyries here open up and wide awake this morning. Hey, get around the action. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vows, here from Eureka, Montana. And we'll bring you the game here today. No pregame interview, changing things up a little bit with Coach Courtney Gunlock. Girls trying to flush the game that they played yesterday. They struggled a little bit, couldn't hit some outside shots. Wasn't dropping Loyola. It seemed like they were making everything a slow first half, only 11 points, but came out stronger in the second half and scored 24 in the second half for 35 overall, but still took the loss, and that puts them in loser out. There's still an opportunity for the Valkyries because 3 teams out of the West go to the state tournament coming up in Billings. That happens next week on Thursday through Friday. So 1 week from today, they'll be in Billings at the Metro Park Center playing in the state tournament if they're able to get through the loser bracket here. So first of all, they got to take care of things against Deer Lodge, the Lady Wardens, today. And a great opportunity for the Valkyries to win that and move on. If they win, they'll head into Friday's game at 11:30. And so the Valkyries have a great opportunity here this morning. 406-270-7384 is the number. And pregame today brought to you by the UPS store. For all your printing and shipping needs at 439 Grand Avenue in Bigfork, Montana, 837-2002, including banners and posters. Brad Stodge here, the folks at Bigfork UPS store. Thank them for sponsoring Bigfork Valkyrie basketball. All right, things going on. We got the tournament set. So I'll give you the rundown of action yesterday. In the opening game, it was Eureka, the Lady Lions, 44-29 winners over Deer Lodge. And so Eureka will take on Loyola, who took care of Bigfork 52-35 yesterday. That game happens in semifinal with number 1, and that'll happen at 6:30 tonight. On the other side of the bracket, it was Anaconda, number 1 seed out of 6B, taking care of Mission, the 4 seed out of 7B, 66-32, and they looked really good. Anaconda did yesterday. They'll move into the 8-15 ball game, and they'll take on Thompson Falls. Thompson Falls is 2nd seed out of 7B with a 48-26 win over Florence Lady Falcons, the 3rd seed. So all the higher seeds won yesterday, and that sometimes that is unusual. And Florence will move in to take on Mission at 9:45 this morning, right after this ball game here in the Western B Divisional. The boys get underway a little bit later on. They kicks things off at 11:30. It is Florence, the Falcons, taking on the Eureka Lions, and then in game number 2 at 1:15, Loyola Rams and Thompson Falls Blue Hawks, and the Vikings will come up at 3 o'clock, taking on the Anaconda Copperheads, and the nightcap in boys action 4:45. It'll be Mission, the Bulldogs, taking on Deer Lodge Wardens at 4:45, and then they'll have the girls semifinals today in the Western B Divisional Tournament. About 4 minutes to tip off. Let's take a look at your starting lineups. And brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods. For all your grocery needs, including amazing bakery and deli at 8111 Highway 35 in Bigfork. 837-5010. Bigfork Harvest Foods. Marcus Pagos and the gang at Bigfork Harvest Foods, always willing and able to support Viking and Valkyrie basketball and sports all together here at Bigfork. Well, the starting lineup, first of all, for Powell County or Deer Lodge, you can call them either way. They're in their whites with like a dark blue trim and yellow across the numbers, blue and yellow numbers. for them. And they'll start a 5'5" freshman guard, number 2, Taryn Lamb. At forward, a 5'7" senior, number 11, Courtney Bosey. At guard, 5'6" junior, captain number 12, Natalie Spring. In the post, it'll be 5'10" junior, captain number 20, Emma Johnson. And rounding out the starting lineup for Powell County, it'll be guard at 5'10", sophomore, number 21, Mary Hanson. For head coach Henry Huber, assisted by Shelby Applegate. That's your starting lineup for the Wardens. For the Valkyries today, the usual suspects back to starting for Bigfork. It'll be a 5'8" junior guard, their leader, number 11, Emma Beth. The captain at guard, 5'4" senior, number 14, Audrey Benz. At guard, sophomore, 5'9", number 15, Madison Chapius. At small forward, 5'6", junior, number 21, Alexis Sari. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Valkyries, it'll be a 5'11" power forward, sophomore, number 22, Scout Nadeau. For head coach Courtney Gunlock, assisted by Jasper Torres and Brandy Couture. Once again, the starting lineup brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods. Well, about ready to get underway in 2 minutes. We'll have the national anthem, and they'll introduce the starting lineups here from Eureka, Montana. Day number 2 of the 2021 Western B Divisional Basketball Tournament Girls Championship right here. As the Valkyries take on the Deer Lodge Lady Wardens, I'll be back with the national anthem and getting underway here from Eureka, Montana. All right, welcome back to Eureka, Montana. It is the Valkyries in their dark black uniforms with red numbers and blue lettering, blue trim. And they're taking on the Lady Wardens here this morning in loser out action. And getting ready to kick things off here this morning. And we're going to do the national anthem here and let you guys listen in. All right, ready to introduction of the starting lineups.
The Lady Wardens.
Introducing
Five freshman. Number 2, Terry Lane.
starting lineups, first of all, for the Lady Wardens of Powell County or Deer Lodge.
Courtney Gunlock.
Lamb and Bosey, Spring, Johnson, and Hanson. The starters for Deer Lodge. We're talking.
8'5" kid junior. Number 20, Emma Johnson. And the 5'5" sophomore, number 21.
Two seniors only on Deer Lodge's team. Yeager and Bosey. Everybody else is a sophomore, junior. A couple, actually 3 freshmen that play for head coach Henry Hubert.
Now for the starting lineup for the Bigfork Valkyries.
So the Valkyries starting lineup.
A 5'8" junior, number 11, Emma.
A sparse crowd this morning here to watch the ball game this morning. Looks like the boys for Deer Lodge over in the corner to support their team. Bigfork Vikings are leaving at like 8 o'clock this morning. They head up. They play at 3 o'clock this afternoon. A few fans for Deer Lodge on the far side. Quite a few, probably 25, 30 fans here for Bigfork. And sorry, getting introduced. So Beth Benz Chapius, sorry, and Nadu, David Reese, Joel McElmurray, and Philip Lodine, the officials for today's ball game. And it looks like Spring is going to jump it up for Deer Lodge, and she'll go up against number 15, the sophomore Madison Chapius. And the jump here. We're ready to tip it off here from Eureka, Montana. It is the Valkyries taking on the Lady Wardens here in loser out action. And here we go. Chapius tips it right to Barrett. Barrett left side in the front court. Top of the key. Barrett looking to drive. Kicks it over to Sorry. Sorry on the left side. Out top to Benz. Benz will try to get underneath and knocked away. Just tried to feed it into Nadu. And Lamb with a basketball for Deer Lodge across the timeline. And Benz taps it away. A quick Audrey Benz steals it into the front court. And she'll bring it to the top of the key to set it up for the Valkyries. Barrett fakes, drives, throws it off the backboard, and she'll go to the free throw line. And that's the first personal on number 20, Emma Johnson, first team foul on Powell County. And Barrett will go to the line for Bigfork to shoot 2. First shot up, off the front of the rim, off the backboard, no good. And she'll get one more. Johnson bleeding, a nosebleed, so number 10, Taylor Stevenson, comes in the ball game for Deer Lodge, replacing her. And there's blood on the floor, so they got to get it cleaned up here. So we have a slight delay in the ball game. Both wait for a second shot while they clean the blood up. Here, so 7:30 to go, no score, and Barrett at the line as they clean the blood from the lane. As the Valkyries are heading right to left on your dial, and Deer Lodge will head left to right here in the first half. Brendan Miller, the AD and PA announcer for the ball game, cleaning things up for Eureka. And Barrett will get one more with 7:30 to go. See if she can put the Valkyries on the scoreboard. Second shot up off the rim, no good. And Lamb will come up with the rebound for Deer Lodge. Lamb poked away, this time They're going to call a personal foul on Benz, I believe. And that's her first team foul on the Valkyries. And Spring to inbound in the backcourt to number 21, Hanson. Hanson with the basketball, top of the key. Valkyries in his own defense. Spring throws up a three-point shot, misses everything, and saved. Barrett comes up with a rebound as Lamb saves it back into her. Barrett across the timeline for Bigfork. Running the point today over the right wing in the corner. Chapius underneath it. Nadu up, under, off the glass, no good, too hard, and Barrett comes up with a rebound. Pokes it up and tried to get it up. Knocked away by Deer Lodge. It'll be Bigfork basketball underneath their own basket. On the far side, Benz will inbound for the Valkyries. Gets it into Scout Nadu off the backboard. And it drops for Scout Nadu. And she gets fouled, so she'll go to the line to complete the three-point play the old-fashioned way. And that's on number 11, Courtney Bosey. Her second team foul, and they do to shoot one. Shot up, misses everything, no rim, so that's a violation. And turnover, that'll be more blood on the floor. They found, got to clean it up. And they took Johnson back to the locker room, I believe, to try to get that cleaned up. Bleeding from the nose. And a delay in action. 6:52 to go. The Valkyries lead early, 2-0 on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard here in Eureka, Montana. And Spring to inbound. Gets it up to Lamb. Lamb will bring it up the court for Deer Lodge. Across the timeline, guarded by Benz now. Bigfork in a man-to-man defense. Lamb looking to drive. And foul called on the Valkyries. Number 22, Scout Nadu. Her second team foul on Bigfork. 6:42 to go, and returning is Emma Johnson for Deer Lodge. And they'll inbound on their own basket. Spring to inbound for Deer Lodge. Gets it to Lamb over on the left side. Lamb guarded by Benz. Top of the key, swings it on the right side. Over to Hanson. Hanson knocked away by Sari. And saved there by Beth. Gets it back to Sari. Chapius in the corner. Beth fakes the three-point shot, looks to drive, and she's going to be fouled on the floor. And that foul's on number 20, Emma Johnson. Her second and third team foul on Deer Lodge. Nadu inbound to Sari. Swings it around to Benz. Benz in the left wing. Underneath to Scout Nadu. Nadu gets it out. Barrett, three-point shot on the way, no good, but Sari with the rebound puts it up. Fouls on number 22, Scout Nadu. That's her third team foul on the Valkyries. And Gambala will get up. Callie Gambala will get up to come in the ballgame, replacing Nadu, who picked up two early ones. Over to Spring on the right wing. Spring looking underneath. They surprised Eureka yesterday. Lamb on the drive, throws up a shot, and she's fouled by Chapius. And she'll go to the line to shoot two. That's the first on Chapius, and the fourth team foul already on Bigfork with 5:52 to go. And Taryn Lamb to the line to shoot two for Deer Lodge. Shot up, off the rim, no good. And checking in for the Valkyries, replacing Scout Nadu, is number 24, Callie Gambala, the freshman for Bigfork. Shot up. This time, this one goes down. 2-1, Valkyries lead on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Quickly, Barrett up the top of the key. We'll give it over. Right side to Sari. Chapius down into Gambala. Stolen away. And Lamb travels as he dives to the ground, tries to get up, and a traveling violation. It'll be Bigfork basketball underneath. 5:42 to go, 2-1, the Valkyries lead, and Chapius to inbound for Bigfork. Gets it to Sari. Sari will kick it out to Benz. Benz looking, Trying to find Chapius. Benz drives, gets it under. Gambala knocked away, taken up by Hansen. Hansen quickly up the court. Run down and taken away by Chapius. Fouls at number 15, Madison Chapius. That is her second. 15 foul. Chapius will have a seat. Checking the ball game, number 23 for Bigfork, Quinn Nissen. And Chapius will stay in the ball game. It's Gambala comes out with some instructions from coach. She's go back to check in. Shot by Lamb. 2-point misses it. Sorry comes up with a rebound. We'll give it up to Barrett with 5:10 and counting. Low scoring first quarter. Valkyries need to get on the board here in the first quarter with 2 already. We'll give it over to Benz in the corner. Chapius looking. Underneath has Nissen. Gets it out to Benz. Benz on the left wing. Out to Barrett. Barrett, top of the key. Back door. Chapius looking to drive. Chapius feeds Nissen. Nissen up. Trying to go up with the basketball. And a held ball. And arrow points towards Deer Lodge as number 24, Callie Gambala, comes in the ball game for the Valkyries. Spring inbound to Hansen. Hansen running the point for Deer Lodge. Yeah, the top of the key. Hansen will give it over to Lamb. Lamb on the left side. Back to the top of the key, guarded by Benz. Valkyries in a man-to-man defense. Spring on the drive. Gambala short. And Barrett gets a rebound right to Nissen. Back to Barrett. Barrett driving. Looking. Top of the key. Throws up a three-point shot. Short. And Lamb comes up with the ball. Up the right side. Slowed down by Sari. And Lamb will get it out to Spring. Spring top of the key. Swing to the Hansen. Hansen on the drive. Out to Spring. Spring to Lamb. Right through her and right to Nissen. Nissen comes up with it. As Lamb can't handle it. And timeout taken by the Valkyries. Here, 3:58 to go in quarter number 1. And the Bigfork Valkyries lead 2-1 over the Deer Lodge Lady Wardens on the UPS Store scoreboard. I'll be back with more of the first quarter here from Eureka, Montana, 2021 Western B Girls Divisional Basketball Tournament. Well, welcome back to Eureka. Western B Girls Basketball Divisional Championship. Excuse me. As Bigfork leads early 2-1. And they'll get the basketball on the sideline. Benz. Gambala, Nissen, Sari, and Barrett. And Benz inbounds to Barrett for Bigfork. Over the corner. Benz, right wing, baseline. Gets pushed and fouled there by number 11, Courtney Bosey. That'll be the 14th foul. And that is Bosey's second. So number 10, Taylor Stevenson, will come in the ballgame and replace Bosey for Deer Lodge. Benz to inbound, looking. Gets it, Nissen, back to Benz. Benz didn't establish herself inbounds. So that's a turnover by Bigfork. She threw it in to Nissen, came in and got the ball a little bit too early. So turnover by Bigfork, and Lamb will bring it up for Deer Lodge. Top of the key, zone defense, a 2-3 zone by Bigfork. Lamb looking to drive through, tries to drive through Barrett. Stevenson with the basketball. Barrett right there, takes it away. Gives it up to Gambala. Gambala will give it up to Benz. Benz, smart play by the senior, pulls it out. Gives it over to Barrett. Barrett looking to drive. In the corner to Sari. Sari, three-point shot on the way, a little strong. Nissen right there at the rebound. Puts it out the backboard, and Nissen scores for 2 for the Valkyries. 4-1 on the UPS Store scoreboard. Lamb with the basketball across the timeline. Out near half court. Lamb with the back over. We'll kick it over to Stevenson. Stevenson will give it up to Spring. Back to Stevenson. Down in the corner to Johnson. Johnson looking to drive. Nielsen right there. And Nielsen was on the ground, and Johnson tripped over, and they call a foul on Nielsen. Unbelievable, actually. And Johnson will go to the line to shoot two. And she misses the first one. Everybody here thinking that should be a no call. As Nissen's on the ground, there's nothing she can do. Johnson shoots up, misses it, and Nissen gets the rebound. Benz quickly pushes it up for Bigfork. Gets it over to Barrett. Barrett looking underneath for Gambala. Looks to drive, gets it over to Sari. Sari out to Benz. Benz driving top of the key. Looking underneath, gives it over to Barrett. Barrett looking to drive baseline. Off the backboard. A little strong, no good. And running it down to Stevenson. Lamb comes up with it. Poked away by Barrett. Lamb still with the basketball. Gives it up to Spring. Spring looking to drive. Goes up. No good. And Benz comes up with a loose ball. Quickly up the court is Benz. And stolen away by Spring. Spring runs into her own player. Loses the basketball. Gives it over to Barrett. Barrett on the left side. And looking to drive baseline is Emma Barrett. Throws it off the backboard. No good. Right there is Sari. Sari goes up. And a traveling violation called on the Valkyries. Sorry. It'll be Deer Lodge basketball. 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 4-1 lead on the UPS scoreboard for the Valkyries. Over to Stevenson. She can't handle the pass from Hanson. And a turnover to Bigfork with 1:55 to go. Beth will give it into Benz. Low scoring first quarter. Benz looking to drive right side. Sorry. In the corner. Back out to Benz. Benz. Backside. Barrett. Barrett looking to drive. Barrett goes up. And this time she gets fouled. Will go to the free throw line. And that's foul number 20. That's Emma Johnson. That's her third already. And the 15th foul. And number 11, Courtney Bosey, will come back in the ball game. And Powell County will take a timeout with 1:42 to go. 4-1 on the UPS store scoreboard. And we'll be back here with the completion of quarter number 1 from Eureka, Montana. All right, well, welcome back to Eureka, Montana. And Barrett got fouled on the drive by Johnson. She's out of the ball game. Player control foul, or excuse me, team control foul, number 11, Emma Barrett on the inbound play. That's her first 17th foul. Player control, team control, no free throws, even though they're in the bonus now for Deer Lodge. And Hanson with the basketball. We'll give it over to Spring. Spring right wing. And Spring looking right. Ben's right there. Looking. Stevenson, far side. Guarded by Gambala. Out to Lamb. 2-3 zone by Bigfork. And Lamb at top of the key will give it over to Hanson. Hanson looking to drive. Right there, cut off. Knocked away by Sari. It will remain Deer Lodge basketball. 1:14 to go, 4-1 on the UPS store scoreboard. And Spring to inbound for Deer Lodge. Gets it up to Lamb. Lamb looking to drive, gives it over to Hanson. Hanson guarded by Barrett. And give it out to Spring. Spring top of the key. Gambala right there. Just throws it up to Spring. A wild shot and rebounded by Gambala. So give it up to Benz. Benz, bring out the top of the key. Give it over to Beth. Under 50 seconds to go here in quarter number 1. Back to Benz. Benz looking underneath. Barrett, top of the key. We'll get back to Gambala. Gambala up, under, off the backboard and good. And a nice pass by Emma Beth. Underneath to Gambala. And a 6-1 lead for the Valkyries on the UPS Store scoreboard. Lamb on the basketball. Looks like they're going to hold for the last shot here. Lamb, right side, drives all the way to the basket. Sorry, save it from out of bounds. Gambala with the basketball. She'll give it up to Benz with 20 seconds to go here in quarter number 1. Benz over to Beth. Beth right wing, back to Benz, top of the key. Back to Barrett. Barrett looking far side. Finds Sorry. Sorry cuts to the basket. A little strong. And Barrett comes up with the ball off of Nissen. And Barrett looking to drive. Goes in there. Nothing. And turnover by Bigfork. As Barrett drives in and no call. Spring gets it back. Long shot from three-quarter court. And way short. So, quarter number 1. The Valkyries lead 6-1 on the Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard. We'll be back with the rest of the first half, second quarter, and first half here from Eureka, Montana, as both teams struggling on the offensive side. All right, welcome back to Eureka, Montana. Second quarter, and possession of is for the Valkyries. So Chapius, Barrett, Benz, Gambala, and Nadu. Looks like Lamb, Bosey, Spring. Inbound to Gambala, shoots it off the backboard, no good. Barrett puts it back up and misses it, but got fouled. Number 5, Eliana Grande in for Deer Lodge as well. And Barrett to the line to shoot 2. First on number 5, Eliana Grande. And Barrett to the line to shoot 2. Drains the first one. She'll get one more. 16 foul on Deer Lodge. 7 on Bigfork. So Deer Lodge already in the bonus. Next foul puts Bigfork in the bonus. And Barrett's second shot off the rim, no good. Chapius able to run it down in the corner. Gets it out to Barrett. Barrett looking to drive all the way up under Barrett off the backboard and knocks it down on the drive for Emma Beth. And a 9-1 lead on the Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard. Spring, right wing, guarded by zone defense, 2-3. Over to Hansen. Hansen gets it out to Lamb. Lamb, hop steps. That is a traveling violation on Deer Lodge. And turnover to Bigfork. Barrett into Chapius, back to Barrett. Barrett will bring it out to the top of the key. Looking in the corner. Finds Benz in the left corner. Back out to Barrett. Barrett looking underneath. Over to the right side. Chapius passed a little bit too high for Gambala. And turnover to Deer Lodge. Grande comes up with it, gives it over to Lamb. Lamb across the timeline at the top of the key. She'll get it over to Hansen. Hansen looks at right there is Scout Nadu, knocks it away. And Nadu with the steal gives it to Benz. Benz looking, loses it. Grande on the ground. Picks it up, gives it up to Lamb. As Grande poked it away from Benz from behind. She'll give it up to Spring, does Lamb. Over to Hansen. In the corner, left corner, Grande. Should be right corner. Scout Nadu knocks it away. Chapius comes up with it from Spring. Quickly up to Barrett. Barrett looking to drive. Up, under, off the backboard. Rebounded by Gambala with the left hand. Gambala scores. The ball to the line to try to complete the three-point play. Chapius with the rebound. Kicks it out, gives it back into Scout Nadeau. Nadeau out the backboard and good for 2 by Scout Nadeau. And a 13-1 UPS Store scoreboard. Lead for the Valkyries. Hanson. Ellie Jort in the ball game for Bigfork. Blocks it away. Nadeau comes up with a rebound. And she's going to get up to Jort. Jort brings it up the court. Gives it over to Barrett. Barrett left wing. Looking underneath, gets it to Chapius. Chapius looking to drive up under off the backboard, misses it, and Grande comes up with the rebound. But Barrett steals it away, and dribbling still Barrett gets it up to Madison Chapius over to Nadeau. Nadeau is going to take a couple steps and walk, and a turnover. But Barrett right there, pulling a little magic as she's on the floor and able to dribble and get up for Bigfork. And Lamb with the basketball for Deer Lodge. Lamb, cross, will give it over to Hanson. Hanson will give it out to Spring. Spring, top of the key, over to Bosey. Bosey's three-point shot at the rim, no good. Chapius with a rebound for Bigfork. Quickly pushing it up is Chapius. Going to kick it out underneath to Gambala and knocked away by Lamb for Deer Lodge. It'll be Bigfork basketball. 5:18 to go here till halftime. UPS Store scoreboard, 13-1 Valkyries lead. Jort gets it into Beth from the corner from three-point shot and off of the hand of Ellie Jort. And it'll be Deer Lodge basketball with 5:14 to go till halftime. Spring looking, we'll get it into Lamb. Lamb gets it over to Hanson, back to Lamb. Lamb throws it up the backboard and scores 2. 4-2, 13-3, 10-point lead. Jort quickly up the court, gets underneath, feeds it to Nadeau. And Lamb dives out of bounds and knocks it away. And Benz will come in for Jort. So it remains Bigfork basketball in the front court. And Barrett will get it into Benz. Benz back to Barrett. Three-point shot by Barrett on the way. In and out. No good. And Chapius able to run down the Scout Nadeau tip. We'll give it up to Benz. Benz, top of the key. And illegal dribble by Audrey Benz. As she's tried to dribble and tried to pass it to Nadeau in the corner. And couldn't do both. So turnover there. Lamb with the basketball for Deer Lodge. And gives it over to Hanson. Hanson, right wing, out to Spring, out near half court. Spring will get it over to Grande. Grande looking to drive, and Chapius right there knocks it away. Benz comes up with it, and a foul on Deer Lodge. That's on number 12, Natalie Spring. Her first and 18th foul. And that'll put Audrey Benz at the line to shoot the bonus 1-1 with 4:18 to go here till halftime. And a 13-3 Bigfork lead on the Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. So Benz at the line for the Valkyries. Shot up. Sinks the first one. That means she'll get the bonus one more. Benz gets the basketball. Ready to shoot the second free throw. Up and nothing but the bottom of the net by Audrey Benz. Hanson will get it over to Spring. Spring right wing for Bigfork. Knocked away by Scout Nadeau, and Benz comes up with it. Benz dribble across the timeline. So looking to get it over to Barrett. Barrett on the right wing. Barrett looking to drive. And a little out of control is Emma Beth. Player control foul on number 11, Emma Beth. That is her second 18th foul. Emma Johnson back in for Deer Lodge. And returning number 21, Alexis Sari for the Valkyries. 15-3, the Valkyries lead on your Harvest Foods and Bigfork scoreboard here before halftime. And we'll take a short timeout and be back here from Eureka, Montana. The 2021 Western B Divisional Girls Basketball Tournament. Well, welcome back to Eureka. Valkyries with a 12-point lead, 3:58 to go to halftime. And they're up 15-3, up by 12 here in the second quarter. And inbound to Lamb for Deer Lodge. And she'll bring it across the timeline for the Lady Wardens. Lamb will kick it over to Hanson. Hanson out to Spring. Spring. Bosey, three-point shot, no good. And battling for it. It's off of number 12, Natalie Spring, and she's still down on the court. Looks like just tying her shoes. It'll be Bigfork basketball here momentarily. Give her a chance to tie it up and run up the court. And Benz will inbound to Chapius. Chapius will give it right back to Benz. 3:40 to go to halftime. Benz across the timeline for Bigfork. Gives it over to Chapius, left wing back to Benz, right wing to Sorry. Benz top of the key, looking underneath. Chapius looking for Nadeau and Gambala underneath. Sorry, back to Benz, back to Sorry. 3-point shot by Sorry, in and out, but right there is Scout Nadeau, and Nadeau puts it off the glass for two. And 17-3 on UPS Store scoreboard. Valkyries lead. Over to Spring, to Hanson, to Bosey, back out to Hanson at top of the key. So give it over to Spring on the left side, the left wing. Out to Lamb. Lamb top of the key. We'll kick it out to Spring. Spring looking to drive in the corner to Bosey. Back out to Spring. Over far side to Hanson. 3-point shot by Hanson. Misses everything. And trying to save it was number 11, Bosey. Courtney Bosey. And hits the end line. It'll be Bigfork basketball. 2:41 to go. 17-3 on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard as Benz comes across the timeline. So give it up to Chapius. Chapius looking underneath. Back out to Benz. Over the right side to Sorry. To Benz. Top of the key. Over to Chapius. Chapius looking for Nadeau underneath. Back out to Benz. In the corner to Sorry. Top of the key. Benz looking underneath. Gives it up to Chapius. Chapius looking underneath the Nadeau. Nadeau off the bottom of the backboard. And Deer Lodge basketball. Officials timeout as Bosey took a shot to the face and gets up, runs up the court. It'll be Deer Lodge basketball. 2:10 to go. 17-3 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. The Valkyries lead. Lamb will give it over to Spring. Spring on the right wing. Extended. Back out to Lamb. Over to Hanson. Chapius knocks it away. Going to make the steal. It looks like she's going to go coast to coast. And puts up the layup and good. So a steal by Chapius in coast to coast for the score for two for Madison Chapius with 1:45 to go. Lamb will give it over to Spring. Spring right wing. Back out to Lamb. Over to Hanson. Hanson left wing to Lamb. Swings it over to Spring. Down underneath to Johnson. Johnson trying to go up. Hit Nadeau. Nadeau right there blocks the shot. Chapius quickly up the court. And she gets pushed. And she'll shoot a 1-on-1 as fouls on number 12. Natalie Spring. That's her second 19th foul. And Chapius in line to shoot 1-on-1 with 1:29 to go here till halftime. Shot up. And good by Madison Chapius. And she'll get the bonus one more. Second shot up, off the rim, no good. Right there, Nadeau tips it to Gambala. Gambala with the left hand puts it up, no good. And taken away by Johnson from Gambala. And Lamb quickly up the court for Deer Lodge. So bring it up, stop there, over to Spring. Spring on the left side. Guarded by Sorry, out to Lamb, top of the key. Right side to Hanson, back out to Lamb. And over to Spring, back to Lamb, top of the key. Over to Hanson on the right side. Swinging around Spring, we'll give it up to underneath and knocked away nearly by Scout Nadeau. And checking the ball game for the Valkyries, number 30, Callie Martins. And number 5, Eliana Grande back in for Deer Lodge. With 59.2 to go, just under a minute, and a 20-3 lead by the Valkyries on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Underneath Shot missed, but Lamb right there with the rebound. Spring goes and grabs it, and Sari comes up with it. And quickly up the court for Bigfork is Madison. Chapius feeds it off to Scout Nadeau. And on the left side and scores 2. Does Scout Nadeau. Spring with the basketball, top of the key. Looking to drive. Kicks it out to Lamb. Lamb over to Barry Hansen on the left side. Check that Spring left side. In the corner, Bosey. 3-point shot on the way from the left corner is good by Courtney Bosey for 3. 18 seconds to go. Martins across the timeline for Bigfork. Give it up to Chapius, left side. Chapius looking. Back to Callie Martins. In the corner to Sari. Back out to Martins. 8 seconds to go. Martins, Chapius. Got to get his shot up. 5 seconds underneath to Gambala. Gambala will give it up to Nadeau. Nadeau got to shoot it. Callie Martins' shot is late. No good. She drains it, but shot it after the buzzer. As unaware of the clock, it was running down. Anyway. Halftime complete, first 2 quarters on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. It is the Valkyries 22 and the Lady Wardens 6. I'll be back with your halftime stats from Eureka, Montana, the 2021 Western B Divisional Girls Basketball Tournament. All right, welcome back to Eureka, Montana. 2021 Western B Divisional Basketball Tournament. Take a look at your halftime stats. Halftime brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club. Lots going on at the Montana Athletic Club. Is weights and machines, cardio machines, internet capable, screen, state-of-the-art, life, fitness, and hammer, strength, weight machines, gymnasium, basketball court, swimming pool, locker rooms, studios for Pilates, aerobics, yoga, spin, indoor, racquetball and squash, and outdoor courts for tennis, indoor tanning bed, on-site Ask a Trainer, the Mesa Functional Training Area, Jungle Gym Daycare, and lots more at the Montana Athletic Club. Tell Doug and Nancy Mellon thank you for sponsoring Bigfork Valkyrie basketball. First of all, let's look at the stats for Powell County here at halftime. Taryn Lamb with 3, and Courtney Bays with with a big 3 in the second quarter. Scored 1 in the first, 5 in the second for 6 total overall. And taking a look for the Valkyries, Barrett with 3, 2 for Audrey Benz on 2 for 2 shooting from the free throw line, 3 by Chapius. Leading the way, Scout Nadeau with 8, 2 by Quinn Nissen and 4 by Callie Gambala. 6 in the first, 16 in the second, so a better first half, doubling up what they did yesterday in the first half against Loyola. They got 22 at halftime here, so a better, not a very well first quarter, but in the second quarter really putting things together and putting up 16, leading the way with Nadeau in the second quarter. And 22 overall on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard here at halftime as the Valkyries lead 22-6. Now what does that do here? Well, if the Valkyries win, they will play again because this is a loser out action. And if they win, they'll move to 11:30 game tomorrow right here. And they'll take on the loser of Anaconda and Thompson Falls, who play later tonight in semifinal action. So remember, 3 teams make it to state from the west side. So after this ball game, it will be Mission, the Lady Bulldogs, taking the Florence, the Lady Falcons here at 9:45. And then boys get underway at 11:30, Florence and Eureka, followed by Loyola, Thompson Falls. And Bigfork. We'll have Bigfork on the radio, BFST Events, YouTube. Game time is scheduled at 3 o'clock. About a 2:45 pregame scheduled for this afternoon. And wrapping up, it'll be Mission and Deer Lodge at 4:45 this afternoon. To wrap up the boys section, then the girls will do their semifinals with Eureka and Loyola facing each other. And the winners will automatically qualify for state. And Anaconda and Thompson Falls in the nightcap at 8:15 here from Eureka, Montana. Well, I'll be back with the second half from Eureka, Montana. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vowels from Eureka 2021 Western B Divisional Girls Basketball Tournament. All right, welcome back to Eureka's second half. And this third quarter brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods. All your grocery needs. Amazing bakery, deli. Matter of fact, I stopped by there the other day. I always like from the bakery and deli, like their chicken strips, man. Some JoJo's, and makes a good meal before pregame. Bigfork Harvest Foods, 8111 Highway 35 at Bigfork, 837-5010. So the same second half starters looks like for Bigfork. It will be Barrett, Benz, Chapius, Sorry, and Nadu to start the second half. And it'll be Deer Lodge basketball start the second half. They'll start Lamb along with Bosey, Spring, Johnson, and Hanson. And Deer Lodge to inbound. The Lamb top of the key, 2-3 zone by Bigfork. Spring over the right side will kick it out to Hanson. Hanson top of the key, back to Spring. Spring right wing. Lamb looking to drive, gets it out to Spring. Spring way out there. And Hanson will drive to the top of the key, gives it up to Spring. Spring over to Lamb, right side. Right. Lamb trying to drive out to Hanson. Hanson left side to the Lamb. And back to Spring. Little weaving action out to Bosey. Bosey on the right wing will give it up to Lamb. Lamb top of the key. Fakes a three. Hanson looking to drive out to Lamb. Lamb top of the key. Barrett right there playing that zone defense. Into Spring on the right side. Knocked away by Benz. Lamb comes up with it and knocked away. Benz will come up with the rebound as she takes it away from Johnson. And Benz quickly up, finds Sorry, and Sorry scores the bucket. Gets pushed, and she'll go to the free throw line, try to complete the three-point play the old-fashioned way. Fouls on Lamb. Karen Lamb, her first team foul. That was after the shot, so no free throws here, excuse me. Out to Sorry. Three-point shot by Sorry. Banks it. As Sorry heads to the bank for Bigfork and banks it in for three. And Lamb quickly up. We'll give it over to Spring. Spring over to Hanson. Hanson out to Bosey. Bosey will give it up to Spring. Spring top of the key for Deer Lodge. Goes over to Lamb. Lamb looking to drive. Throws up a two-point shot. Misses it. And Chapius quickly up the rebound. Gets it up to Barrett. Barrett looking and running. Looked like it was off Deer Lodge and pointing. They say it was off Bigfork, off Barrett. And Spring will inbound. 27-6 on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. The Valkyries lead. 6:22 to go here in the third quarter. And Hanson will give it over to Lamb. Lamb over to Spring. Spring on the right side. Out near the top of the key, guarded by Benz as Bigfork goes in a man-to-man defense. Here is Gordon. Over to Lamb, left side. Out to Hanson, back to Lamb. Hanson. And right there is Audrey Benz. Lamb will give it over to Spring. Spring a long way out from the three-point line. So bring it to the top of the key to set it up. And Benz guarding Spring. Barrett right there. Nearly makes her travel. Lamb with the basketball right side. Picked up by Benz. We'll give it over to Hanson to Spring. Spring looking to drive. Throws it up and scores two. And she'll go to the free throw line for Deer Lodge. And fouls on Emma Beth, her first team foul. And Callie Martins will come in for Beth. And Spring will go to the line to shoot one. 5:34 to go here in quarter number 3. 27-8 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Shot up, no good. Benz with the rebound for Bigfork. Looking up, had Sorry momentarily, decided to pull it out. And Ben's top of the key will give it over to Chapius. Chapius right side, found Scout Nadeau. Over to Martins. Martins on the right side. Chapius, Nadeau off the glass for two. And 29-8 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Here comes Spring across the timeline for Deer Lodge. She'll give it over to Lamb. Lamb will kick it up to Hanson. Nearly stolen away by Sorry. Lamb with the basketball. Over to Spring. Left wing. Guarded by Martins. Out to Hanson. Hanson. Spring. Top of the key for Deer Lodge. We'll kick it out. Bosey. Bosey looking to drive. Over to Hanson. Hanson gives it up to Lamb. Lamb driving. Knocked away by Chapius and out of bounds. It'll remain Deer Lodge basketball. Barrett will come in for Sorry with 4:41 to go. Spring inbound. Lamb shoots it up. No good. Barrett to the rebound for Bigfork. And she'll bring it up the court for the Valkyries. Kicks it over. Benz left side finds Nadeau off the glass. Oh, in and out. And no good, but Chapius tries to come up with a rebound. And a loose ball and out of bounds off Bigfork. It'll be Deer Lodge basketball. 4:23 to go. 29-8 on your Harvest Foods of Bigfork scoreboard. The Valkyries lead. And Hanson with the basketball for Deer Lodge. Top of the key. We'll kick it over to Spring, left side. Spring over to Lamb. Lamb, top of the key for Deer Lodge. She'll give it up to Bosey. Bosey gets fouled as she makes that pass attempt to Hanson. And that foul's on number 30, Callie Martins. Her first and second team foul on the Valkyries here in the second half. In Lamb from Deer Lodge. In the corner. Knocked away by Chapius. That pass was intended for Hanson. 4 minutes to go here in quarter number 3 in the loser out action here in Eureka, Montana. Spring to inbound. In the corner to Lamb. Lamb will give it over to Spring on the right side. To Hanson. Hanson looking to drive. Kicks it over to Lamb. To Spring. Spring puts up a shot off the board. No good. Nadeau tips it out to Barrett. Barrett at the right side will pull it out and set it up. And she finds Benz top of the key. Over to Barrett. Back to Benz. Martin to the left side will give it up to Chapius. Chapius far side to Barrett. Barrett looking to drive. Up. No good. And Martin's right there. Out of bounds off of Emma Johnson of Deer Lodge. It'll remain Bigfork basketball. 3:21 to go. Here in quarter number 3, the Valkyries lead 29-8 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Nadeau will kick it out to Chapius. Chapius top of the key. Back to Barrett. 3-point shot from the corner by Barrett. Off the rim, no good, but Ben's right there with the rebound. We'll give it up to Chapius. 3-point shot by Chapius. In and out. And rebounded there by Hanson for Deer Lodge. Hanson will bring it up. 3 minutes to go in quarter number 3. She'll give it over to Spring. Spring nearly loses it. Picks it up. Back to Hanson. Back to Spring. Top of the key. Deer Lodge can't figure out this zone defense of Bigfork. Lamb. Guarded by Martins. 3-point shot on the way by Bosey. Top of the key. Misses everything. But Lamb comes up with the rebound and puts in the layup and gets fouled. Foul to number 22, Scout Nadeau, her third team foul. And Callie Gambala checking back in for Bigfork. Timeout taken by Deer Lodge. 2:42 to go here in quarter number 3. The Valkyries up 29-10 on the UPS Store scoreboard. I'll be back with more of the third quarter here from Eureka, Montana. All right. The foul was after the basket. Basket's good. And Deer Lodge will get the basketball underneath. Lamb on the backdoor cut. Scores the 2 with 2:36 to go. And 29-12. Valkyries, so Deer Lodge putting on some pressure. Fouls at number 21, Mary Hansen. That's her second team foul as they're starting to put pressure on Bigfork. Martins will inbound to Benz. Benz will give it over to Barrett. Barrett back out to Benz, top of the key. Looking underneath, finds Barrett. Barrett looking at Martin's back door. Barrett looking to drive. Gives it up to back to Benz in the corner to Martins. Martins finds Gambala. Gambala loses it, and Lamb comes up with the loose ball for Deer Lodge. Taken away, knocked away by Benz. Martins with the basketball up to Barrett quickly. Barrett looking off the foot of Deer Lodge as they roll out of bounds. It'll be Bigfork basketball as Bosey and Hansen get on the court. And Quinn Nissen back in the ballgame. She'll check in for Callie Gambala as Courtney Gunlock giving instructions to Gambala, the freshman. Over to Barrett, right wing. Far side, Martins. Back out to Benz, top of the key. Barrett underneath finds Chapius. Chapius, right-handed hook off, no good. And knocked out of bounds by Spring. It'll remain Bigfork basketball, 1:40 to go here in quarter number 3. Valkyries up 29-12 on the UPS Store scoreboard. Benz to inbound for Bigfork. Gets it out to Chapius. Chapius a little high for Benz as he tries to return the pass. And a turnover by the Valkyries. And Spring will inbound to Lamb. Lamb across the timeline for the Lady Wardens. Over to Spring, right wing. Extended. 2-3 zone by Bigfork. Over to Hansen. Hansen looking. Gives it to Spring. Spring nearly loses it out of bounds. Recovers it and saves it. And she'll bring it to the top of the key. Bosey back to Spring. Spring trying to look to drive. Off the glass, no good. And Lamb right there with the rebound. And she'll get fouled by Martins, I believe. Fouls on Chapius, her third, and 14th foul. And Gambala at the scores table to check in. Lamb at the line to shoot 2. First shot up is good by Lamb, and Gambala comes in for Chapius. And one more for Lamb with 1:07 to go here in the third quarter. Shot up off the front of the rim, off the backboard, and good. 29-14, 1 minute to go here in the third quarter. Benz looking. Gives it over to Martins. Over to Nissen. Nissen looking. Nissen driving. Off the glass and good by Quinn Nissen, the senior. Coming off the bench and scoring 2 for Bigfork. 31-14, 48 seconds to go here in quarter number 3. The Valkyries lead on UPS Store scoreboard. Over to Bosey. Got it by Martins. Spring. Spring top of the key for Deer Lodge with the basketball. We'll give it over to Lamb. And stolen away by Martins. Martins to look and drive for Bigfork. Puts it off. No, misses it. Benz gets the rebound. Puts it up. Gets fouled as she misses the attempt. But she'll go to the free throw line to get 2. And that's fouls on Taryn Lamb. Her third team foul on Deer Lodge, and Benz will get 2. Shot up, good by Audrey Benz. And number 10, Taylor Stevenson, will replace Lamb with 26.1 to go here in the third quarter. Second shot up by Benz is good. .24 seconds to go, 33-14 on the Bigfork Harvest Fruit scoreboard. The Valkyries lead. Bosey over to Spring. Spring top of the key for Deer Lodge. Gets over to Hansen on the right side, back to Spring. Spring dribbling the basketball, top of the key. So swing it over the left side, back to the right side to Hansen. Hansen looking, We'll give it to Bozy. Bozy, three-point shot off the rim, no good. And Bozy trying to save it, loses it out of bounds. That's the end of the third quarter. Nadeau, Chapius, sorry, return for Bigfork. 33-14 on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. After 3, the Valkyries lead here from Eureka, Montana. Be back momentarily with the fourth quarter and Lamb back in for Deer Lodge. All right, Bigfork, we're back here in Eureka, Montana. Bigfork with the basketball to start the fourth quarter. And up 33-19, so they're up by 19 points here. Over to Barrett, left wing. Ben's top of the key for the Valkyries. Swing it over to Sari. Sari on the right side. We'll give it up to Chapius. Chapius will find Barrett. Barrett looking to drive off the leg of Johnson. It'll remain Bigfork basketball. 7:45 to go. We'll just get out of the way here in the fourth quarter. The Valkyries up by 19, 33-14 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Benz looking, gets it in. Barrett looking, drive baseline jump. Baseline jumper is good by Emma Barrett. And scores the 2, does Barrett. It's 35-14, so the Valkyries up by 21. 7:30 to go. Over to Hanson. Back to Spring. Spring with the basketball for Deer Lodge. And Bozy, three-point shot on the way. Tapped away there by Sari, and Benz will come up with the rebound for Bigfork. She'll give it over to Barrett. Barrett looking. Left wing, back out to Benz. Benz top of the key. Swings it to Sari. Sari on the right side. Gives it to Chapius. Back to Barrett. Barrett looking. Driving baseline, puts it up. No good. Nadeau trying to grab it, but off of Deer Lodge. And it remains Bigfork basketball. 6:57 to go. Benz finds Nadeau. Nadeau up and under, misses it, but Benz right there to grab it. Held ball, and the arrow points toward Deer Lodge with 6:54 to go. Spring to inbound to Hanson for Deer Lodge, and Hanson will bring it up the court for the Lady Wardens. Across the timeline, 2-3 zone by Bigfork. Hanson will kick it over to Lamb. Lamb driving right side, kicks it out to Hanson. Hanson to Spring, nearly stolen by Barrett. Spring, three-point shot by Bozy, misses it. Chapius, and loose ball come up by Scout Nadeau. Nadeau will dribble up, give it up to Chapius. Chapius going to drive all the way. Fouls on number 12, Natalie Spring. Steps in late as Chapius was driving to the bucket. Her third. And 14 fouls. Chapius will get 2 for the Valkyries. First shot up and good by Chapius. 6:27 to go here in the ball game. The Valkyries lead 36-14 on the UPS Store scoreboard. And Chapius one more as she stands at the free throw line. Second shot up, rolls around, uses all the rim and drops in for the bucket. 37-14 now. The Valkyries lead by 23. In to Hanson. Hanson for Deer Lodge. Kicks it over to Lamb. Lamb driving right there. Spring, top of the key. We'll kick it over to Bozy. Bozy can't handle the pass. Off her hand and out of bounds. It'll be Bigfork basketball. Audrey Benz gives it to Chapius. Chapius looking at it. Finds Nadeau. Nadeau off the glass for 2. A nice pass by Chapius. And Spring in the front court with the basketball. Spring looking, gets it over to Hanson. Hanson back to Spring, swings it around to Lamb. Lamb on the left side will get out to Hanson. Bosey on the right wing. Sipped in there, took away by Beth. Nadeau comes up with it, and she pulls it out. We'll give it up to Beth, and they'll set it up with 5:34 to go, and up by 25, 39-14. Barrett will give it over to Benz. Benz in the corner. Chapius, three-point shot from the corner is good by Madison Chapius from the left corner. And the Valkyries lead 42-14 on the UPS Store scoreboard. Lamb with the basketball. We'll give it over. And Chapius trying to read that and nearly steals it all the way down to the end of the court. And Deer Lodge will take a timeout. 5:10 to go in the ball game. The Valkyries lead 42-14 on the UPS Store scoreboard. We're back with the conclusion of this ball game here from Eureka, Montana. All right, welcome back. 5:10 to go. And the Valkyries comfortably up by 28 here in Eureka, Montana. And loser out action. And Spring will inbound for Deer Lodge in the backcourt to Hanson. Hanson across the timeline. Top of the key. 2-3 zone by Bigfork. She'll give it over to Spring. Natalie Spring dribbling. Top of the key. Gets it over to Lamb. Lamb brings it out. Over the corner to Hanson. Hanson left side to Bosey, knocked away, and Chapius will come up with a loose ball for Bigfork and pushes it quickly up the court, and then she'll pull it out. Finds Nadeau. Nadeau up off the glass, short, misses it, and Johnson comes up with a rebound for Deer Lodge. So Johnson with the bloody nose earlier, still playing for Deer Lodge. Spring with the basketball will give it up to Hanson. Hanson taken away by Sari. Sari looking and feeds it up to Barrett. Barrett up left-handed is good. A nice pass by Sari to Emma Beth. And Beth scores two. And the Valkyries up by 30. 44-14. 4:13 to go on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Gives it over to Spring. Spring will give it up to Hanson. Hanson, top of the key. Dribbles. Right wing. Spring in the corner to Bosey. Bosey shoots up a three-point shot, misses it. And right there is Johnson. Johnson goes up. And a whistle blows. And fouls on number 11, Emma Barrett, her fourth 15 foul on Bigfork. And Spring to inbound with 3:57 to go. Gets the top of the key to Bosey. Bosey looking to drive. Nadeau called for the foul on the blocking. That's her fourth 16th foul. And it'll be underneath. Deer Lodge ball underneath with 3:54 to go. So Barrett and Scout Nadeau both with four. Quickly into Bosey. Launches it up, misses it off the backboard, and Nadeau comes up with a rebound. She'll dribble up the left side and pull it out. Gets it out to Barrett. Barrett, top of the key. And timeout taken by Bigfork. 3:44 to go. Valkyries lead 44-14 on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard here from Eureka, Montana, the 2021 Western B Divisional Basketball Tournament. And loser out action. Valkyries look like they have this one in hand. That would put them into 11:30 ball game tomorrow morning and take on the loser of Anaconda and Thompson Falls that play tonight at 8:15. We'll stay right here to wrap up this ball game here from Eureka, Montana. Bigfork basketball, and Barrett looking, gets it into Benz. Benz in the backcourt, crosses the timeline. Man-to-man defense by Deer Lodge, and Benz gets it out. Scout and they do a three-point shot from the right wing, off the rim, no good. Right there, Sorry gets the rebound, puts it off the glass, no good. And they do, that's going to be her fifth. He tries to go after the rebound, that's her fifth. 17th foul. And they do with a nice ball game for Bigfork. Just being a little aggressive, going after the rebound. And a 1-and-1 for Deer Lodge, as that's the 17th foul on Bigfork with 3:29 to go. And Spring will go to the line, shooting 1-and-1 for Deer Lodge. First shot up, no good. And Gabala came in the ball game, gets the rebound. She'll give it up to Benz. And Benz will give it over to Chapius. Chapius on the left side. Looks underneath, finds Gambala. Gambala up, under, off the backboard, no good. Rebounded there by Lamb on a missed shot by Gambala. And quickly up is Lamb with the basketball. Lamb over to Spring. Spring will give it up to Bozy. Bozy looking. Guarded by Benz. Out to Spring from Hansen. Springs. Held ball. Arrow points towards Bigfork as Barrett gets on the ground with Spring. And held ball. Gets it into Barrett from Chapius. So Barrett in the backcourt, guarded by Spring. Barrett looking. He's going to bring out top of the key. Gives it over to Chapius. Chapius out there looking underneath for Gambala. Knocked away by Bozy, and Spring comes up with the basketball. Spring underneath, tries to field Bozy. Saved right there to Hansen. Hansen will give it out to Lamb. Lamb's left side to Spring. Three-point shot by Spring. Misses it, but Spring runs it down. Throws it out to Lamb. Lamb quickly out. Top of the key to Hansen. Bozy. Bozy can't quite handle it. Chapius Gardner right there, and turnover by Deer Lodge. It'll be Bigfork basketball. And Stevenson will come in for Deer Lodge along with number 5, Eliana Grande, and number 4, Madeline Greco for Deer Lodge. 2:20 to go, 44-14 on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. And Barrett with the basketball. Barrett, top of the key. Dribbling, finds it underneath, right side of Benz. Benz will give it under Gambala. Gambala up, under, left-handed, off the glass, and good by Callie Gambala. And into Stevenson. Stevenson will give it over to Bozy. Bozy looked like she took steps. Nearly got away with that. Gambala on the steal. Quickly up, Benz with the basketball. Pass intended inside by Deer Lodge, and Gambala comes away with the steal. Barrett, top of the key, long three-point shot off the rim, no good. And Ben's able to come up with the rebound. Gives it over to Chapius. Chapius looking to drive. Off the glass, in and out, no good, but Gambala right there. And gets fouled. Trying to go back up. And she'll be fouled by number 20, Emma Johnson. That's her 4th. 15 foul, and Gambala to the line to shoot 2 for the Valkyries. 1:27 to go, 46-14 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. First shot by Gambala off the rim and no good, and she'll get one more. Second shot off the rim, no good. Rebounded there by Bozy. Bozy up. Left side, looking to drive, and Bozy, she loses it. Gambala comes up with the loose ball, quickly up the court. Gambala will give it to Benz, and they'll slow it down. Barrett looking to drive. We'll kick it over to Chapius. Chapius out to Sorry looking to drive. Off the glass, she gets fouled, and that'll be number 5 on Johnson. 16 foul. And Spring will return for Deer Lodge. And at the line, shooting 2 for Bigfork. It'll be number 21, Alexis Sari, since they let the other ones in. Now Callie Martin's back in the ball game. Nice job there by Benz for Bigfork as she wraps up the game. Rest for tomorrow. Sari, first shot up the back of the rim, drops for Alexis Sari. And 47-14 on UPS Store scoreboard. The Valkyries lead. Second shot by Sari. Rolls out, no good. And Chapius comes up with a loose ball. Feeds it underneath the back. Pass off the backboard and good for 2. Yeah, under 1 minute to go in the ball game. 49-14 on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Stevenson gives it over to Spring. Spring gonna throw it up. Misses it, and Gambala with the rebound for Bigfork. She'll give it out to Chapius with under 40 seconds to go. And Chapius slowly brings it across the timeline. 35 seconds. Martins, top of the key, will give it over to Chapius. Chapius finds Gambala. Gambala up off the backboard and good by the freshman Gambala. 51-14. 20 seconds to go here in the ball game. It looks like the Valkyries will move on. And Spring will kick it out to Stevenson. Or excuse me, that's Greco. Callie Martins. They're going to call a held ball. And remains Deer Lodge basketball. 6.9 to go here in the ball game. And the Valkyries comfortably up 51-14. Stevenson, 3-point shot on the way by Spring. Off the rim, no good. Gambala gets the rebound, gets it to bed. And that'll be your ball game as the Valkyries win this 51-14. On the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. I will be back with your post-game stats and try to get Coach and a couple players up here post-game. Stick around. All right, welcome back to Eureka, Montana, post-game. Yeah. Here. And brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club. What's keeping you getting fit? Discount on pass, personal training, Pilates, a lot more. 837-2582, 850 Holt Drive in Bigfork. And trying to get Coach Gunlock up here with a couple players to talk to them. And let me give you your full game stats here momentarily. Well, the Valkyries will move on. Deer Lodge is done. And Bigfork will move to 11:30 ball game tomorrow. We'll have all that right here on BFST events here on YouTube. And let me bring up the stats here momentarily. Okay. First of all, for Deer Lodge, Lamb with 8 in the second half, all in the third quarter. 11 overall, leading the way. 3 for Posey, 2 for Spring, and 14 all overall. For the Valkyries, leading the way, Nadeau with 12. Chapius 8. Benz 4. 9 by Beth. Gambala with 8. And 4 by Quinn Nissen. And we're trying to get those coach and players up here for post game here momentarily, if she remembers to come up. So 51-14 is your final here from Eureka, Montana, as the Valkyries win that one handily. And looking for Courtney Gunlock. And gonna try to talk to Scout Nadeau and Audrey Benz. Benz with 4 on 4 for 4 from the free throw line. And the point guard leading the way. Nadeau with a big 12. Inside, had 8 in the first half and 4 in the second. Played well, fouled out late in the ball game here in Eureka, Montana. But the Valkyries move on. And looking for Gunlock to come up here momentarily on the post game, if she will. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes of Owls here from Eureka, Montana. And that puts the Valkyries 11:30 tomorrow morning. And that means Bigfork will take on the loser of tonight's ball game and semifinal action between Anaconda and Thompson Falls, and that should be a heck of a ball game. Coming up next here in Eureka, another loser out game is Mission Lady Bulldogs against the Florence Lady Falcons. That game is scheduled for 9:45 here this morning. And I'm just waiting on the coach and the two players, probably talking to them right away, and then they'll be up and talk about this ball game here. A little slow start for the Valkyries today, but then got it going there in the second quarter and the rest of the ball game, and able to take care of things handily here in Eureka, Montana. We'll see if the coach is going to show up here momentarily. And stick around here for post-game interviews. I'm trying to get Audrey Benz and Scout Nadeau up here as well. For the post-game interview if they come. Here comes Nadeau. And talk with her momentarily. That'll be the first person I get to talk to. Always like talking with Scout Nadeau. She's got that. Tell me when you can hear me. Can you hear me? Talk so I can hear you.
Hello.
So welcome to the postgame, brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club. Talking with Scout Nadeau, 12 points on the day. You know, big 8 in the first half, and it seemed like you really dominated underneath. What was your mindset and trying to feed you the ball in the ball game?
Just to call for the ball to get open and using the backboard a lot more. I've been working on going towards the rim and just being that presence in the post.
Yeah, you seem like you did well, especially against Deer Lodge. You guys match up well with them. Your defense. Talk about your defense that leads to your offense and pushing. You kind of slow start to the ball game right in the first quarter, but then after that, you really guys picked it up.
I think we just needed to get into the game and get a little bit of the game flowing, and once we get hyped up, our defense is a lot more better. and we just flow a lot well together.
But what was it like? I mean, been sitting without all your players the last 2 games of the regular season. Then yesterday, that game against Loyola, seems like you guys weren't making some buckets. But how did you guys adjust and come out today? A loser-out game. You guys are still in it because 3 teams from the West get to go. So
Yesterday we had to get some of the chemistry flowing again, since those games without all of our starters were hard. And I think today we just flowed really well together, and we just worked together and communicated a lot better.
And I thought you had a good game yesterday. You played hard as well yesterday, so
thanks,
that
James.
was really good to see. So, Scout and Adu, thank you for joining me on postgame. I'll let you go so you can get ready, and I'll talk to Audrey and then the head coach, Courtney Gunlock. But congratulations. Tomorrow we take on the loser of Anaconda and Thompson Falls later on at 11:30 tomorrow. So get to sleep in a little bit. Don't have to play an 8 o'clock game, so a little bit better so you guys can wake up, get your coffee in the morning. So thanks
James.
for joining me on the postgame show. All right, we'll talk to the point guard and the defensive specialist for the Valkyries and the senior. Talking to Audrey Benz. Audrey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to bring you up here because, you don't score a lot, right? You don't shoot a lot, but you feed the basketball. You play great defense.
Thank you.
Right? And but at the free throw line, 4 for 4. You made all your free throws in something. Talk about the game today and what your mindset against Deer Lodge. You played them down there and beat them handily. So coming to you lose her out, right? You still have an opportunity to make state because 3 teams out of the West.
Yeah.
You make it through the consolation, you win the consolation championship, you still get to go back to state.
Yeah.
So talk about that and the team, what you guys had to do today.
Well, we knew it wasn't going to be a breeze coming into the game. We didn't want to come in thinking that this was going to be an easy game, and so we came in thinking that we just wanted to kick butt, and we definitely did that. So.
Yeah, you started a little bit slow in the first quarter offensively, right?
Yeah.
But defensively, you held them, and you pretty much held them the whole ball game.
Yeah.
They only had 14. Talk about that. What is your mindset as a defensive specialist? Because I just love the way you run the court and play. I see the soccer in you, getting alongside and knocking the ball away and making steals and then feeding your teammates.
Thank you. Well, it also depends on the reffing. Each ref will call different things, and you got to really read that and, take a couple fouls and see how the refs do and, and just, I don't know, be prepared for everything and rely on your teammates for that help too.
Well, you seem like you're very calm and your mindset, especially as a senior, you've been there before, is out there and taking control and slowing things down, especially for some of these younger players. Talk about your team, what this team has meant to you this year.
I'm sorry?
Talk about the team and what the team has meant to you this year. Can you hear me?
No.
You can't hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Talk about your team and what the team has meant to you this year.
Meant to me?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, playing on this team as a senior, right? You're one of 2 seniors.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not easy. I mean, I'm so grateful to be on a team that pushes, like the freshmen, they push us super hard at practice, and the sophomore, and I mean, we're just lucky to have these opportunities, and I don't know, we have an opportunity to go to state, which is really exciting. And
Yep, one game at a time. So
Yeah.
you took care of today. Moving on. Thanks for joining me on the pace. I'll let you go, get ready to get going. I'll talk to Coach.
Thank you.
But great job today, and good luck. We'll have you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay. Good to see you. All right, I'll bring in the head coach, Courtney Gunlock. That was Audrey Benz, the senior defensive specialist. Just a really good ball player for Bigfork. And Courtney knows how to put that on. She's done that a few times. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me at all? Can you hear? Yeah, you should be able to hear me now.
Now I can.
Okay. All right. Head coach Courtney Gunlock. Hey, it's always tough after losing a game and coming in and after play 8 o'clock in the morning. I've seen it many, many times, but after a slow start for you guys, I really thought you stepped it up, especially in the second quarter. Talk about the game plan and what you guys had to change going from the second quarter on, because they were a little sluggish offensively in the first quarter. Both teams, actually.
Yeah, we did get off to a slow start. Our game plan was actually to play straight man-to-man, and we obviously got into early foul trouble and had to adjust that based on just how the style of reffing was going to be today. And I thought they did a good job transitioning more into a zone. And offensively, we just weren't getting much happening, so we went to more of a 2-post look, and that seemed to really help kind of open some things up for us.
Yeah, I thought Scout really played well in the post getting her position, and like she talked about, learning to use the backboard more. That backboard is your friend. Hit it off that back, hit that square. It's going to drop, and she did a nice job leading the way with 12 points for you guys today. And even though she fouled out, I mean, she was aggressive, and the foul she's got, she's going after the basketball and really hustling. I didn't see no dumb fouls, but just hustle fouls, right? And you can take that as a coach, right?
Absolutely, and that's exactly what we told her when she fouled out. It was like, you know what? I left both her and Emma out there because they need to learn how to be able to play with 4 fouls and not back off, and to try to stay in the game. And she fouled pretty quickly, but again, it was a hustle foul, and I told her I'll take those all game long. So. And
you had pretty much balanced scoring. Nadeau had 12, Bereth had 9, Madison Chapius, she came up with 8, and 8 by Callie Kambala, the freshman coming into the ball game. She did another good job inside and using. I noticed about her is really able to use that left or right hand and use that backboard very well.
Yeah, exactly, and I like to see more well-rounded scoring. That's what we need to do to be successful.
And Andre, I had to bring her on the post game. She's always, she's not a big scorer, but 4 for 4 from the free throw line. But her defense and hustling and her leadership is really big for you guys to get your team going. So
exactly, she's always kind of our consistent. We always know what we need from her, and she always gives us 100%.
And Quinn even had 4 today. She had a nice move, get the bucket, just dribbled and took it. She scored 4, and then a 6 by Alexis Sari. So pretty balanced scoring and well scoring for your team. So congratulations. You'll take on the loser of Anaconda and Thompson Falls tonight. And you face both of those teams. Anaconda once, Thompson Falls obviously twice, being in conference. That's tomorrow at 11:30. So you get to sleep in a little bit. You don't have that 8 o'clock game, which is kind of nice. But I look forward to calling that game tomorrow and talking to you tomorrow. So once again, Coach, congratulations on the win, and keep moving on, because guess what? There's 3 teams going to state, so you just got to go take it the hard way.
Yep.
One game at a time. So
yep, that's the plan.
Thanks for joining me on the post game. I appreciate it, as always. All right, head coach Courtney Gunlock on the post game show. I like to talk to her on the post game. It's so much more fun than the pregame, and they win this one 51-14 on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. Here from Eureka, Montana, that'll wrap things up for me, James LaFontaine. I'll be back this afternoon as the Vikings are in action, and the Vikings will take on the Anaconda Copperheads. That game time is scheduled for 3 o'clock this afternoon, with pregame at about 2:45. Once again, your final from Eureka, Montana, in loser out action. It was the Bigfork Valkyries 51, the Deer Lodge Lady Wardens 14, and Bigfork moves on to play tomorrow at 11:30. We'll have that game right here on BFS The Events on YouTube. Once again, thanks for joining me. Have a great day out there. We'll catch you at 2:45 with the Vikings taking on the Copperheads this afternoon on BFST Events here on YouTube.